Your baby is born. Congratulations. Now what? No nurse, no formula, no Google. Just you, your body, and a newborn who cannot survive the next few hours without you doing exactly the right things. This was every mother's reality for over 300,000 years. Somewhere on Earth, right now, a mother is doing exactly what you're about to see. And somehow, most of them figured it out. Not with hospitals, not with instructions, with something we've almost completely forgotten. Here's the uncomfortable twist. The thing ancient women had that we don't wasn't knowledge. It was people. Stick around, because what they did in the first 40 days after birth is something modern medicine is only now admitting we got wrong. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at a newborn the same way again. You're not just going to learn about ancient mothers tonight. You're going to see yourself in every single one of them.
Understand something first. Giving birth wasn't the dangerous part ending. It was the dangerous part starting. A newborn can't regulate its own body temperature, can't fight infection, can't survive more than a few hours without warmth, milk, and constant contact. No antibiotics, no incubators, no formula on a shelf. One wrong move in those first hours, that was the entire margin. There was no ambulance to call, no emergency room down the street. The first month after birth killed more infants than almost anything else in the ancient world. So every single thing a new mother did in those first days wasn't tradition for tradition's sake. It was triage. And the strategies that emerged across cultures that never once spoke to each other were eerily similar. Every ancient mother carried that weight. Until, as you'll see, she didn't have to carry it alone.
So what actually happened the moment a baby was born? Almost everywhere on Earth, the same first move. Skin against skin, immediately. The mother's body is warm, the newborn's isn't. Across nearly every documented hunter-gatherer and ancient society, the baby was placed directly on the mother's chest within minutes of birth. Not for bonding, not for a photo, for survival. A newborn can lose dangerous amounts of body heat in minutes. Then came the cord, cut with sharpened flint, obsidian, bamboo, sometimes bitten. The stump was often covered with ash, with oils, with plant pastes. Some of it, by accident, actually had antimicrobial properties. Some of it, by accident, caused deadly infections. They were guessing, but they were guessing with everything they had. Get it wrong and you didn't have days to fix it, you had hours. This wasn't gentle parenting advice. This was the difference between a heartbeat and silence. Now here is the part that will genuinely surprise you. The very first milk a mother produces isn't white. It's thick, yellowish, almost golden. For centuries, across parts of Asia, Africa, and even Europe, that first milk was considered dirty, bad, spoiled, something to throw away. Newborns were fed sugar water, animal milk, or herbal mixtures for the first few days instead, while mothers waited for the milk to turn white. Here's the twist. That golden first milk, colostrum, is now known to be one of the most powerful substances in nature. Packed with antibodies, concentrated immune protection a newborn cannot get anywhere else. Ancient mothers were pouring away the one thing that could have protected their baby the most. Not because they were careless, because it looked wrong. And looking wrong was enough to override instinct. Millions of babies, generation after generation, missing the exact thing designed to save them. But here is where ancient women got something exactly right. In China, it's called Zuo Yuezi, sitting the month. The new mother rests, stays warm, eats specific foods, avoids cold water, cold air, even cold thoughts for 30 to 40 days. In Latin America, it's called La Cuarentena, 40 days. In India, the Ayurvedic texts call it Sutika Kala, 40 to 42 days of rest, oil massage, and a controlled diet. 3 civilizations, 3 continents, 0 contact with each other. Think about that for a second. No internet, no shared research, no anthropology journals passed between continents. And they all landed on almost the exact same number. Here's the twist. Modern medicine independently confirms it takes the human body approximately 6 weeks to recover from childbirth. The uterus shrinking back, hormones resetting, tissue healing. Ancient women had no ultrasounds, no hormone panels. They just watched thousands of bodies, generation after generation, and arrived at the same number modern obstetrics did. Just bodies watched closely enough for long enough to find the truth. Ancient mothers had one more problem. Life didn't stop. There was food to gather, fires to tend, camps to move. So the baby went everywhere they went. In parts of Africa and Asia, mothers wrapped their newborns in cloth slings tied tightly against their own body, hands completely free. Among many Native American communities, babies were secured to cradle boards, upright, safe, close, able to watch the world while the mother worked. In parts of Europe, infants were swaddled tightly for months at a time, wrapped in bands of cloth from shoulder to foot. Some of it worked beautifully. Some of it, we now know, restricted hip development. Put the baby down in the wrong environment, and that baby simply didn't make it. So distance from the mother's body wasn't a preference. It was a risk calculation. But the instinct underneath every single one of these methods was identical. Keep the baby against the body. Always. And that instinct has a name today. Kangaroo care. Constant skin-to-skin contact is now used in modern hospital NICUs to save the lives of premature infants. The exact same instinct, just with a medical name attached now. Every single culture, independently, arrived at the same rule. Closer is safer. But here is the part that should genuinely stop you. Anthropologist Sarah Hrdy spent decades studying how humans, uniquely among great apes, raise their young. Chimpanzee mothers barely let another chimp touch their infant. Human mothers, across virtually every documented ancient culture, never raised a newborn alone. Grandmothers, aunts, older siblings, even unrelated women in the group, all sharing the direct care of a single infant. Scientists call this alloparenting, and it isn't a nice to have. Ethnographic research links it directly to infant survival rates. More caregivers, higher survival. For nearly all of human history, a new mother was never actually alone with her newborn. Not for one single day. A mother alone with a newborn wasn't normal. It was practically unheard of. This is the single biggest difference between ancient parenting and yours. Somewhere between then and now, we lost that, and nobody warned us. It's important to say this honestly. Even with all of it, the confinement, the carrying, the village of caregivers, historians estimate that in many ancient societies, a significant share of children didn't survive to adulthood. This is part of why some cultures delayed naming a baby for days, sometimes weeks, not out of coldness, protection, emotional and practical, in a world where loss was heartbreakingly common. Every ritual we've talked about tonight existed inside that reality. Ancient women weren't guessing carelessly. They were doing everything humanly possible, with everything they had, for the smallest and most fragile members of their community. Behind every ritual we've described tonight was a mother who understood exactly what was at stake. Grief was not rare. It was woven into daily life. And still, they kept trying, kept caring, kept showing up for the next child. Today, we have formula, incubators, postpartum checkups, baby monitors that ping your phone. And yet, postpartum depression and new parent burnout are more common now than ever documented before. Researchers keep landing on the same explanation: isolation. Ancient mothers had a village of caregivers built directly into daily life. Modern mothers get a Facebook parenting group and a Google search at 3 in the morning. We upgraded the technology. We downgraded the village. We have more parenting books than any generation in history, and more anxious parents than ever measured. Maybe the answer was never in another app. Maybe it was always in the people standing next to you. If this changed how you look at the first weeks of a newborn's life, subscribe. Because next time, we're asking a very different question.